Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome back to Video Math Lessons. This is Lesson 11, talking more about what we started in our investigation yesterday. These are word problems about combining. So let's start off with a little bit of review. Remember this when we started first talking about algebra and the algebraic algorithm. Instead of using a box to fill in the missing addend, or sometimes even the missing sum, is represented by a letter called a variable. The variable is the letter. The letter is the variable. Remember saying that the other day. I have a couple of people who still, I think, are struggling with this sometimes. A variable is a letter. So when you come across any directions that say write and solve an equation to solve the problem, you must set the problem up horizontally and use the algebraic algorithm, meaning show the steps to solve. Here are your steps again. We've been talking and talking and talking. When you combine terms, you underline any two or more numbers on the same side of the equal sign. You underline them and then you just bring your answer straight down when it's time. Isolate the variable, meaning the letter. You want to get the letter isolated by himself on one side of the equal sign. Circle everything except the variable. Everything except the letter on one side of the equal sign. Kick it over to the other side. Kick it so hard the plus breaks into a minus sign, and then you repeat if necessary. When you're reading any story problem, make sure to read and think about each separate sentence carefully. Nobody expects you to do these problems as fast as, say, 22 minus 17. For story problems about combining, remember what we learned in our investigation yesterday. Sum, and I even put this down here, sum that you start with plus some more equals the total. We did this in our investigation yesterday, right? So let's jump right into it then. Here is our problem right now, and it's going to say, Jack scored 36 points in the game. If he scored 18 points in the second half, and here's the interrogative, the question, how many points did he score in the first half, right? That's what we're trying to find out. So where are we going to put our letter? Under sum that we start with, some more, or the total? How many points did he score in the first half? So I think the first half is some of the points that we're starting with, right? And we don't know. So pick a letter. Maybe you want A for awesome. Maybe you want D for dynamite. Pick a letter. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of it. Jack scored 36 points in the game. So that 36, is that some of the points that he started with? No, we already put our variable there. Was that some more of the points he scored, or the total of the points he scored? I'm hoping you recognize that that is the total of all the points he scored in the game. Our next sentence then says, if he scored 18 points in the second half. So 18 points, that would be some more of the points he scored. We don't know how many points he scored in the first half. He scored 18 points in the second half, and he scored a total of 36 points in the game. So, do I have to combine any terms? Remember, the equal sign is like your goalpost. Look on the first left-hand side. Can I combine these two terms? Hopefully you know. No, you can't. You cannot combine a variable and a number. And I don't have two or more terms on the right-hand side, so I can skip combining terms. Let's go and isolate our variable. Next, I want to get A by himself. So I'm going to circle plus an 18, and I'm going to kick him over to the other side, right? Kick him across the goalpost. Let's get ready to rewrite. I read left to right, correct? When I read an equation, I'm reading it left to right. So, first thing I have to write down then would be A. What else is not circled? Going left to right. I don't want to write plus or 18 yet because I kicked him over here, right? But I didn't circle my equal sign. I didn't circle 36, but I did circle plus 18, and I kicked that plus sign so hard he broke into a minus sign, and 18. Okay, combine terms or isolate a variable. In this case, I can combine terms right here. I have 36 minus 18. So now let's go and rewrite everything that's not underlined. I did not underline A. I did not underline the equal sign. And I have 36 minus 18. If I needed to work it out on a scratch piece of paper, I would, but I'm writing this horizontally here. If you need to work it out on a scratch piece of paper, that's one thing. But I have 3 horizontal lines, and it looks like this. Only one equal sign is allowed on each horizontal line. Okay, let's continue on. Check this one out. You're going to see a lot of what they call multicultural names in story problems. They don't sound like the names from we have around here. Don't get hung up on not knowing how to pronounce a name. This says Li Ming. Maybe you're going to call her Lai Ming. Maybe you're just going to call her LM. Don't get hung up on a name. So Li Ming was swimming laps when her mother came to watch. Her mother watched Li swim her final 10 laps. If Li Ming swam 25 laps in all, how many laps did Li Ming swim before mother arrived? This is the interrogative part of the story problem, right? The part that ends in a question mark. They want us to know how many laps did she swim before her mother arrived. Her mother watched her swim her final 10 laps. Okay? And she swam 25 laps in all. What are they asking for? Some of the laps that she started with? Some more of her laps? Or the total of her laps? Did she swim before her mother arrived? That sounds like it's some of the laps that she's starting with, right? Let's go and take a look else. Her mother watched Li swim her final 10 laps. That's not to say she swam only 10 laps. It's her final 10 laps, some more of what she swam. And here we have Li Ming swimming 25 laps, and here's your clue word, in all, right? That's the total in all together. So here's what your equation looks like. L plus 10 equals 25. Do I have terms to combine? Look at your equal sign. Do I have two terms on the left side? No, I don't. Do I have two terms on the right side? No, I don't. I can go right into isolating the variable, getting L isolated. Like in solitary isolation, you want to get him by himself, and you're going to kick this over to the other side. So let's go and write down everything. I read this problem left to right, and I want to write down everything that is not circled first. Well, I didn't circle L. I did circle plus 10, so I'll wait on that. I didn't circle the equal sign. I did not circle 25, but I kicked plus 10 over to this side, right? Kicked it so hard my plus sign broke, so I'm going to write them as a minus. And now my 10. Let's take a look. Combine terms or isolate a variable. My variable, my letter, already is isolated all by himself on one side of the equal sign. So all I have left to do is to combine these terms, right? Let's start off writing everything I did not underline. I didn't underline L. I did not underline the equal sign. But 25 minus 10, hey, that's 15. And again, if you're not convinced, plug 15 in place of the L. See if it makes sense. 15 plus 10 equals 25. Absolutely it does, right? Let's keep on. Check out this one. Tammy wants to buy an iPad mini. She has $124. The iPad costs $341. How much more money does Tammy need? Here is the interrogative. How much more money does Tammy need? That's a pretty easy one. At least I'm hoping it is. Where's my letter going under? Some of the money that she's starting with? Some more of the money? Or the total of the money? How much? Well, it doesn't get much more easier than this. They gave you a more. That's got to be some more of the money. Maybe you want to write a T for Tammy. Maybe you want to write an L for I want to go to lunch. Pick a letter, right? Let's take a look at the rest. She has $124, but the iPad costs $341. So she has $124. Is that some of the money she's starting with, or the total amount of money she needs? I think that sounds like some of the money that she's starting with. Then it says the iPad costs $341. That's the total cost of the iPad, right? So there's my equation. 124 plus T equals 341. Do I have to combine terms? Well, we always look at the equal sign. That's our goalpost. Do I have to combine terms on the left side? No, I do not. Do I have to combine terms on the right side of the equal sign? No, I do not. Let's go ahead and start by isolating the variable. I want to get T by himself. So I'm going to circle everything except the t, because isolate means to get it by itself. Solitary isolation. You are locked in a room by yourself in solitary isolation. And if you remember, we always read equations left to right, correct? So I want to start off by writing everything that I did not circle. So I'm not going to write 124 or this plus sign, but I didn't circle t. And I didn't circle the equal sign. And I didn't circle 341. Now I have my 124 and a plus sign that I kicked over here, right? Let's take care of the plus sign first. I kicked it so hard it broke. I changed plus into minus. And finally, my 124. 2 steps in algebra, really: combine terms or isolate a variable. Look on either side of the equal sign. Do I have terms to combine here? No. But I do have terms to combine on the right side. I read my equation left to right, correct? And I'm simply going to write down everything that did not get underlined. I did not underline t. I did not underline the equal sign. But this is a little tricky. 341 minus 124. I might want to set this up just somewhere on a scratch piece of paper. I'm not going to mess up my nice, neat horizontal lines for this. I don't want to go ahead and do that. And t is equal to 217. Okay, let's keep going on. Check out this one. Nick wanted to buy a new cymbal for his drums. He saved $75 the first month. The next month, he saved $125. Here comes the interrogative sentence. They want to know how much money has he saved all together. So where's my variable going? Are we talking about some of the money that he started with? Are we talking about some more of the money he saved up? Or are we asking to find the total money? And hopefully you found your clue word here. All together means that they want us to find the total. So maybe you're going to use an N for Nick. What else are we going to put in here? He saved $75 the first month. So this looks like the money that he started with. And then the next month, he saved $125. This is one of those problems that's so simple, it's hard. Combine terms or isolate a variable. Look on both sides of the equal sign. Can I combine terms here? Why, yes. Yes, I can. Hey, I haven't had to combine terms to start off the problem yet. What's going on with this? I don't know, but I'm just using the algebraic algorithm. So I know that I read an equation left to right, correct? So let's start off. The first thing I run up against is these combined terms. So I don't want to write 75 plus 125. I want to bring that answer straight down. 75 plus 125, hey, that's 200. What else is not underlined? I did not underline the equal sign. I did not underline that N. Hey, I'm done, aren't I? 200 equals n. That is one of those problems that's so simple, kids sometimes trip on it. Our variable was already isolated. N was by himself, wasn't he? I didn't have to circle anything on this one. Couple other things I want to talk about. Check out this one, because it's going to show up, I don't think today, but in a while. So far, every problem was sum that you start with plus some more equals a total. Well, let's think about this logically. Sum plus some more is also going to give you a total, right? Take a look here. Nick had $100, Will had $50, and Adrian had $25. And they're asking you to find all together how much money did they have? Well, Nick had $100. That's some of the money they're starting with. Will had $50. That's some more of the money that they have. Adrian had $25. That's still some more of the money that they had. And they want to know all together how much money did they have. So pick a variable. Maybe you'll use all A for all together or T for total. Do I have terms to combine or isolate a variable? Hopefully you know I better combine these terms, right? 100 plus 50 plus 25. When I read an equation, I read it left to right, correct? I'm just going to start off by writing down everything that's not underlined. Hey, wait a minute. The first thing I ran into is underlined. So I don't want to rewrite that. I better just write down what this answer is, and hopefully you know this answer is $175. What else is not underlined? The equal is not underlined. And the A is not underlined. $175 equals A. Let's keep moving on. Check out this one. They're going to do this periodically. These are subjective math answers. If you were in the reading group, I know we had a big talk about that. Subjective means there's way more than one right answer. They want you now to write a word problem about combining for this equation. You're writing the problem. You're not doing the steps. Well, then it says, then answer the question in your problem. So, make up a story like, I had $12. My sister has $24. How much money do we have together? Make sure it ends in a question. And then it says, answer the question. I won't insist that you show your algebraic steps here, but you better have the right answer. We have $36 total. Okay, now, do you always have to write about myself and my sister? No. You have to just take this information and write a story problem about it. Okay, so that would appear to be the end. You are certainly going to want to have a scratch piece of paper and a pencil for the Socrative quiz. Good luck.